The best suburbs around Boston in 2025-26 are not the ones on all of the top places to live lists. You've probably never even heard of some of these towns. That's because towns like Lexington, Newton, Brookline, they're already crowded and super expensive. Meanwhile, some overlooked suburbs are adding new restaurants, better schools, and faster commutes without the $1 million price tag. And if you don't know about them, you'll end up paying too much for a place that doesn't work for you while missing out on a town that gives you more space, more value, and a better deal overall. I'm Kimberlee Meserve, and I've been helping families and professionals relocate to Greater Boston for nearly a decade. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is defaulting to what I call the name brand towns, the ones that everybody knows about. And the truth is that many of the best opportunities are in places that people overlook. And that's what I want to show you today. So let's dive into the suburbs that are quietly winning in 2025 and why they should be on your radar. Here's what actually matters when choosing a suburb in 2025: walkability and lifestyle upgrades. These towns aren't just adding strip malls. We're talking about walkable downtown districts, local restaurants that rival a lot of places right in the city, and community spaces that actually bring neighbors together. Commute improvements. Between new MBTA extensions, improved bus routes, and major highway projects wrapping up, some of these towns just got a lot more connected to Boston's job centers. School system growth. It's not just about test scores anymore. Many school districts are investing in STEM programs, expanding arts offerings, and building facilities that would make suburban Connecticut jealous. Relative affordability. For what you pay for a 2-bedroom condo in Newton, you can often own a 3-bedroom home with a yard in some of these places. The math makes it pretty compelling. I'll be highlighting 5 towns that may not be on your radar yet, but check these boxes in surprising ways. And fair warning, a couple of these might challenge what you think you know about up and coming versus established. Let's start with Wakefield. And if you're thinking, wait, isn't that just another sleepy commuter town? Well, you're about 3 years behind. Wakefield sits about 12 miles north of Boston with around 27,000 residents, and it's having a serious moment. The big story here is the Basin, a major 440-unit lakeside development at Lake Quinnipiac. We're talking luxury apartments with a waterfront restaurant, public walking paths, and here's the key part: a complimentary shuttle to the commuter rail. But it's not just one project. There are several new apartment developments along Main Street, and the corridor is filling up with more locally owned restaurants instead of just chains. The schools have also seen facility upgrades, like the recently renovated vocational school, and the high school is going through a major renovation. Wakefield is perfect for hybrid workers who want suburban space but need to get into Boston 2 to 3 times a week. Depending on the train, the commuter rail can get you to North Station in roughly 25 to 30 minutes. And it's also ideal for families who want that small town feel but don't want to give up good restaurants, cultural amenities, and easy access into the city. You're trading some of the established prestige of places like Lexington, and parking downtown can be a little bit tight, especially with the new development, but housing costs are still significantly lower than comparable towns, and that gap is closing really fast. Medford doesn't get the love it deserves, and honestly, that's worked in buyers' favor. With about 59,000 residents, it's got that perfect middle ground size, big enough for real amenities, but small enough to feel like a community. The Green Line extension changed everything here. Suddenly, parts of Medford are within about 15 to 25 minutes of downtown Boston by subway, actual rapid transit, not just commuter rail. That's triggered a restaurant boom along Main Street and Riverside Ave, from elevated Thai spots to craft breweries. The city also completed major infrastructure upgrades to the T stations, including new bike lanes and pedestrian improvements. And here's something most people don't know. Medford's housing stock is incredibly diverse. You've got everything from more affordable condos near Tufts University to spacious single families in more established neighborhoods. Young professionals, absolutely. The combination of T access and reasonable rent makes this a no-brainer if you're working in Cambridge or Boston. But it's also great for families. The school system here has been improving steadily, and you're close to both urban amenities and green spaces like the Middlesex Fells. Some areas can feel transitional, and parking can still be a challenge near the T stations. You're also dealing with college students from Tufts, which some families love and others don't. If you're relocating to Boston or just trying to figure out which suburb actually fits your lifestyle and budget, I actually have a free relocation guide. It's linked below and it goes deeper into different towns, commute maps, lifestyle trade-offs that we're talking about today. You can scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description. Woburn is the ultimate undervalued asset in the Boston suburbs game. About 38,000 residents, perfectly positioned at the intersection of 93 and 95, and somehow still flying under the radar. Woburn Village, the redevelopment of the old Woburn Mall, is finally hitting its stride. We're talking market basket for groceries, but also local restaurants and even some higher-end dining options. The Fox Den just opened as a permanent home for wild fox pierogi after years of pop-ups, and Sogno is getting incredible reviews for authentic Italian. The city is also investing heavily in infrastructure, from bridge reconstruction projects to upgraded water treatment facilities. These aren't glamorous, but they're foundations for long-term growth. This is perfect for commuters who want highway access to Route 128 tech companies or downtown Boston. It's also great for families who want solid schools and recreational options without the premium price tag of places like Winchester or Arlington. Woburn still feels a little bit more suburban sprawl than walkable community, though that is changing quickly. And while housing costs are reasonable now, they're rising as fast as people discover what you get for your money. If Medford is the young professional's secret, Watertown is the family's best kept secret. About 35,000 residents, strong schools, and the kind of walkable downtown that most suburbs spend millions trying to recreate. The Arsenal Yards development has transformed this into a legitimate destination. We're talking Wegmans, REI, restaurants that draw people from Cambridge. But the real story is how well Watertown has balanced development with character. They've kept the tree-lined residential streets while adding amenities. The school system continues to punch above its weight with expansions into STEM and arts programs, and you're getting frequent MBTA bus service that connects directly into Cambridge and downtown Boston. It's also great for anyone who works in Cambridge. Many parts of Watertown are within biking distance to Harvard Square. Housing costs are rising faster than some other options on the list, and parking downtown can be a challenge. You're also not getting the same nightlife or restaurant scene as some of the other towns that we've covered. Let me end with Melrose, because it perfectly illustrates the point about overlooked suburbs. About 29,000 residents, gorgeous Victorian architecture, and consistently rated as one of the safest communities in Massachusetts. Downtown Melrose is having a renaissance. The Main Street district has filled up with local businesses, farm-to-table restaurants, and that kind of small-town charm that people pay premium prices for in places like Wellesley. The train station renovation is complete, and you're about 20 minutes to North Station. The schools have been strong for years, and they'll continue to expand programs and facilities. Plus, El Pond in the town center gives you that postcard New England town feel. This is perfect for families who want the full New England small town experience without giving up access to Boston. It's also great for professionals who can work remotely most of the time, but still need reliable commuter rail access. Melrose has definitely been discovered because housing prices have risen significantly over the past few years. And while it's charming, some people find it a bit quiet, especially if you're used to urban energy. Here's what's interesting about all 5 of these towns. They're investing in the right things at the right time. While the traditional top-tier suburbs are dealing with overcrowding and astronomical housing costs, these places are adding transit connections, upgrading infrastructure, and building that kind of walkable mixed-use development that actually improves quality of life. Let me put this into perspective. The median home price in Brookline is now over $1.2 million. In many towns that we've just covered, you can find a single-family home with a yard for significantly less, and in some cases save hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's not just a house, that's generational wealth that can be built. But it's not just about money. These towns offer something that traditional expensive suburbs don't, and that's authentic community, reasonable commutes, and the space to actually enjoy your life instead of just surviving your mortgage. The smart money isn't chasing the places everybody already knows about. It's finding places that are building the infrastructure and community amenities that will matter by 2030. If you're thinking about making a move to Greater Boston, or you just want to avoid the common mistakes that buyers make here, let's schedule a call. I help people find the right neighborhood that fits both their lifestyle and long-term goals, and I'd love to do the same for you. The link is in the description below, and I'll pin it in the comments as well. Because here's the thing, every one of these towns I've mentioned will look different in 2 years. The question is whether you want to be a part of that growth or watching it from the sidelines. And if you're torn between being north or south of the city, you'll want to check out my video on the South Shore versus the North Shore. It breaks down the real pros and cons of each so that you can decide where you actually belong. You can click the link right here on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one where we will dive even deeper into making Boston work for you, your lifestyle, and your budget.